Welcome back to the Brewing Stand Learning Group series where we transport items back and forth, to and fro, hither and yon. And I think we've made the last little bits for a lossless transport and item elevator. And I just want to show you guys that. So let's see what we have. So worked on this a little bit with Yasser last night. We've changed the design of our piston elevator. The designs that everyone keeps recommending was all for Java. It uses C pickles, which, I mean, like, that's great. It works there, but this is Bedrock. In Bedrock, we did a better design. And what we came up with is a piston pushing in from the bottom with two honey blocks, one down there, one there. The second one is to keep stuff from falling down. It does take the ice with it, so basically closes the door. Once we figured out that, I figured out the timing circuit for the whole thing. It's running off of our ethos clock, which is still set to, I think, like 9-10 seconds. And I've got 4, 8, 12, 16 tick delay going down here to this comparator with an additional 3 tick delay. So there's 19 ticks. But we needed to open up the door, reset the machine sooner than that. So based off of the other side of the clock, we had inverse a signal to subtract. Basically, a 15 from a 13 is what that is when it's on. So by subtracting, we are closing the piston before that cycle. So our piston remains in the down position with the ice block out of the way, door open basically for longer than the cycle, and remains shut for shorter than the cycle. And this is all unchanged. This I did move the circuit around a little bit so it's easier to get in here and see what's going on. Took out all of the guardrails for this because it doesn't need it. It's just the brewing stand going into ice and loads the chamber for the piston elevator. And then our piston elevator comes all the way up. I did increase the height on this enough where I had to put a little repeater circuit in here to restart the power. And up here, we've got an observer, so it cycles our slime piston pusher to push any items off. And then this up here is what I threw together to recycle them, basically catch the stuff that's being pushed off the side, send it down this chain, send it down there, send it into this powdered snow block to fall back in to our storage, which that storage is empty because everything is, all down here. How did red stuff get in there? Give me that back. This system needs a lot more gold swords in it, I think. And let's see this thing in action. So we know the first part here works. We've got a queue. The queue opens up. Everything feeds in to our piston chamber. And up it goes. And then the next batch comes in. Loads our piston chamber. And sends it up. Up here at the top. It gets fired off the top. And into our brewing stands, and then down through the snow and falls down into this hopper. It does clump all the items together where it doesn't look like a constant stream like it did way over on our distance measuring, our distance test. But this is now, we have found this to be lossless. Everything goes through, everything gets pushed up, nothing disappears. And because it goes back into the hopper chain and into the dropper, it's never, no items in this little circle are out long enough to despawn. And this will just run forever. So if anybody is interested in this design, basically it's a sticky piston pushing up into 2 honey blocks. We found the honey blocks work better than the slime blocks because the honey blocks are smaller. But you need to have 2 of them to keep stuff from falling out the bottom. Obviously glazed terracotta for around anywhere that the honey blocks touches, except for the ice block. And the ice block's just going to go with it. Nothing you can do to help that. But that's why we have our queuing system that only lets the stuff in when the door is open. And the timing on this is in such a way that that door is going to open up well within time that it needs to, and it's going to close well after time that it needs to. And then all this up here is just for fun and me showing off. Is like, hey, you can just push it with a piston. Use brewing stands to move it over to directly above where you want to drop it through some powdered snow, because, bedrock mechanics. Awesome. This isn't practical for my purposes, at least for now. I mean, I don't even know if you can have powdered snow in the Nether. I'd have to look into that. I'm not sure. So this is this little build is now, I would say, complete for showing the purposes of queuing up items to go into a piston elevator and then getting those items back into your item flow. And it doesn't have to be a circle. You could be pushing it up to whatever is up here on your 2nd floor, 3rd floor, 10th floor, whatever. Go up to build height for all I care. But then this is showing a simple way to extract the stuff and send it on a quick way back down for everything to just come full circle, at least on this example build. So we've learned a lot building this thing. The daylight sensor. We've learned a bedrock working piston elevator, item elevator, uses a piston instead of using a dropper line, which just points up, or a bubble column, which is not possible in the Nether at all. This is a Nether friendly and lossless. And once you get the timing down, which that took quite a bit for me to open the door at such a delay, and then close the door and activate the piston at such a delay, and then open it up on a different delay. So basically, this line right here is bypassing this 16 tick delay and doing it not necessarily instantaneous, because I do have 3 ticks on both sides of it. So it's 19 to 3. 19 ticks total on this side, and then 3 ticks delay for opening everything back up, which is just ample time for everything to get in place and everything to get shot up without losing any items. It's just fun to watch. So we're going to see where we go from here with these brewing stands. I think I've covered quite a bit in all of this series so far, from building a cube and adding in an item elevator and its return, to our sorting system that just works like a normal item filter. It's just pulling from the slabs that these items are passing along. This first one obviously is my redstone, so let's put glass in here. I don't think anything else. Glass goes a little bit further. To our Trident Killer collection system, which this has worked very well in my nether build that we've been exploring as well. I do have an issue with that though. I'm getting baby zombie piglin falling through there, and because this is 1 block tall and this is 1 block tall, they can't walk out of there. They are stuck on the edge of the brewing stand, and I have to come over here and kill them because they're just in the way and eating up the mob cap. So, and I've tried fences and walls, and because of the 1.5 height on those, it's really messing up the system. Glass panes are identical to iron bars, and I don't think chains work. I think chains would be just as bad as iron bars and glass panes. So if anybody has an idea of what to use in that spot to keep entities from falling down, keep mobs from falling down. I tried fence gate closed, and it didn't help. And the fence gate open would just let mobs fall down. So I don't know. That's something I need to give more of a think on. But if you have enjoyed this series with me, learning about brew stand mechanics, and it's a little side note of learning to make a bedrock-based piston pusher that feeds an item elevator, no water, no droppers, all just piston-based, forcing it through a tube. In this case, it's glass, so you can see it going up there. And most people make it out of glass because they like watching it go up. It doesn't have to be. Then I would appreciate a like and a subscribe for this. Stay tuned for my Sky Bedrock world. That I really need to edit that video. I'll be streaming that tonight and most every night. And yeah, that's it for this episode. Who knows about the series? We'll see where we can go from here. Learning more about this brew stand and the weird mechanics that only exist on Bedrock. Goodbye, everybody.